Hey everyone, how are you doing today? First off, welcome to Marius, who correctly said he was the first one in chat. But also, have you guys seen that there was a tweet from Magnus's account today? He's having a press conference in Stockholm tomorrow, and I think it's proper stream content if we use these first 5 minutes to guess what on earth is going on and why are they having the press conference in Stockholm? That's the thing that's puzzling me the most. Why Stockholm? Anyway, I posted the link to the tweet in chat. Aquila, thank you so much for the 22-month tier 2 resub. Thank you so much, Aquila. I don't know what I would do without you. I'm looking forward to coming back to New York. I know you have a surprise waiting for me. Okay, you guys are as baffled as I am. No guesses on what Magnus is having a press conference about. Apparently, it's going to be live streamed to Magnus's YouTube channel. Um, so if you're not a subscriber already, you should check it out. It's at 1 p.m. or something. I had to make sure that the organizers in Sweden had the password for the YouTube channel, but I didn't get any information on what it was about. Speaking of firsts, Marius in the house with the 25-month resub. Wow, Marius, thank you so much. Yeah, I'm not sure you are the first to 25 months, but I appreciate the sentiment. Uh, are you gonna do Tactics Frenzy from a mobile? I should at some point, Super Mario. I have been researching different softwares that you can use um, to be able to kind of screen share, for instance, an iPad to your computer, which would make it much easier to stream. I've just been lazy and I haven't actually tested it. I found a software I think should be good, but I haven't bought it and I haven't tested it. But I'm planning on doing it at some point. Oh, Mario, you have some experience using your kind of mobile devices for streaming. I'm interested in your perspective and your experience. Because figuring out how to have a mobile game on my computer streaming, it hasn't been as easy as I thought it would be. Hey, Ghetto Porridge, how are you doing? Thank you, Bateman. I still think that the haircut is a bit too short for what looks good, but I'm happy with it not being kind of. It's more manageable than normal. For some reason my eyes. Ha, thank you. I'm also a bit tired, Ghetto Porridge. I don't know why though. I've been sleeping pretty well the last couple of nights, but what do you know? Hey Sergey, how are you? Yeah, no, I tried BlueStacks Hansu Love. That was the go-to, and we made it work for a couple of times. But we ran into some trouble with BlueStacks a couple of months ago, and we never really recovered from it. I think there's better solutions. I think you shouldn't need to use an emulator. That's my new opinion on this. You shouldn't need to use an emulator. You should just be able to use a screen share. Might also be a symptom of the coronavirus. Wow. Marius, did you really go there? So, in case the title hasn't brought it to your attention, I'm hoping for some 1 minute games today. I have a lot of 3 minute and 5 minute challenges, but today I'm gonna crush all of you. And I know from experience that in order to crush you guys, I need to play 1 minute chess. You refuted the Sicilian wing gambit, Sergey. I thought you were supposed to be playing it for the for white. Hammer already working on his excuses? No, I'm not. I'm on the contrary. I'm saying that there is no excuse. Because I will crush you every single time. Ericsson is up to 2,800 now. Someone has been playing off stream. I guess it's good for my rating. You need eye drops? Yeah, that's maybe true, Sabon. I think part of the problem is also my glasses. Glasses are not that good for you, but it's better than the alternative. Pizza Racer with a 4 month resub. Thank you so much. Hey Lily, how are you doing? I hope you gave a shout out to Red Karu. The raid I had on your channel the other day was we were using the channel points. One of the things you can use them for is to request a raid to a specific channel. And Red Karu spent 20,000 of his hammer points for us to raid your channel. 3 streams in a single week. I'm catching up, Bergen. I'm doing 5 streams. I'm streaming tomorrow and on Friday as well. But it does help that I'm at home. It's a pretty. It's always a bit trickier streaming when I'm in the hotel room and I kind of I'm not I the last couple of weeks I've been doing the commentary on the Tata Steel tournament, and so streaming in the evenings would kind of drain energy as well as not really having the setup in order and stuff like that. In a few years, it might be enough to buy a house. I don't know if 20,000 hammers will be able to do that, Nisha, but maybe sometime in the future we will have 2 million hammers. You get to come visit the stream or something. Day 9. I don't really know what that is, Mr. Saban, but I'll look it up. I feel like most people use the lenses. That's what it's called, right? Over glasses. And there's some very good reasons to do that, but I can't stand the thought of I can't stand the thought of putting stuff in my eyes. So instead I struggle with basically keeping my glasses clean because it's insane how much smooth. I don't really know what that is in English, but keeping your glasses clean is very difficult. I had no idea that was going to be the main challenge when I got my glasses in the first place. Oh, if that was a reference, Nishan, no, I've never done StarCraft. Ugh. Ah, yeah, that's true, Jita. Those glasses for the blue light is also interesting. But I feel like it's because they're without a prescription, right? So then I would have to decide between keeping my eyes healthy or, being able to see anything. Yeah, are we really gonna cancel this entire day of Bullet? I really wanted to crush you guys in 1 minute chess, but no one is willing to play me. Is this a chess 24 thing? Is it like you don't play 1 minute chess on chess 24? I'm very upset right now. I'm fine, Marius. What can this press conference possibly reveal? I am not sure, Eskil. But that's basically why I'm so curious. Because what on earth could make them go to Sweden to have a press conference? It's very surprising. If you're not sure what we're talking about, I'm posting the link in chat. Magnus has announced that he's doing a special press conference tomorrow, and it's very difficult to predict what's going to happen there. I don't really know anything about Mamdyarov's health, Rahman, enough, but I know from past tournaments that he has had dental issues, and if his dental issues flared up again, that's just it's very painful. Hope he's not infected with the coronavirus. I think that's fair. I think it's safe to say that he's fine. Nurtug just sold his house. Wow, Marius. That definitely sounds like an announcement that you would need to go to Sweden. Magnus in Stockholm. I have bought the house of the Swede killer. You guys are all safe again. Please buy my products. In case you don't know, if you're not from Norway or Sweden, which I would imagine is most of you, Northug is a Norwegian cross country skier who was pretty aggressive in his interviews about his Swedish competitors. Uh, Magnus decided to buy the entire country of Sweden. That is at least more relevant to having the press conference in Sweden, Aquila. But while Magnus has some money, I'm not sure he has enough to do that. Norway definitely could buy Sweden. I have no doubt, Pizza Racer. We should buy Greenland. Who cares about Trump? Norway should buy Greenland. Swedes didn't always love him. I think that's fair to say. Northug and the Swedes had a somewhat contentious relationship. Okay, so I actually have no incoming challenges for 1 minute chess. People, give me a chance to make quick moves and win every single game this stream. Every time we play blitz chess, I somehow I struggle focusing, or I feel like I have so much time, and then I make slow moves and then I end up losing on time, ironically. But I'm asking you to challenge me to 1 minute games so that I don't lose on time, strangely enough. Well, Hikaru's net worth is about 45 million, so Magnus probably affords Sweden. Really, the fake internet net worth web pages say that I'm worth more than Hikaru? That's pretty impressive. I must have gotten like a 300% bonus just from being from Norway. Magnus might get engaged. You're not the first one to suggest that, Mr. Saban. But why would he have the announcement in Stockholm? I just, any sort of half serious suggestion on the topic of Magnus's press conference, it all ends up with me asking, but why from Stockholm? And I haven't found the answer. My guess is that it's something completely innocent and it's not at all deserving of this kind of speculation and attention. That's the only reason I can explain that this press conference is in Sweden. Because if it was something important, Sweden would not be involved whatsoever. Play Magnus to open a Swedish branch? I don't know. Yeah. You're being very serious, Marius. That's one of the more likely. Magnus will join the Sweden Wasabis? Wow. I don't think that would be outrageous. Hammer losing on time, not even possible. I mean, normally not even possible, Tankan, because people usually make some mistakes. Um, but but it has happened yesterday. Maybe he's turning Swedish. Honestly, Eskil with the best suggestion so far. He might just be sick of Norway, ready to conquer a different place. No, Sergey, I'm not doing 2 minute games. I would start thinking there. But thank you to Sergey and Duncan, who's going to be my first two games. What press conference are you talking about, Noah? I'm posting the link for you in the chat. Magnus to be the first person to go to Mars, but why announce in Sweden? Yes, that's what I'm saying, Marius. Any sort of idea you have for what it's about, if you ask yourself afterwards, why in Sweden? It doesn't make sense. I'm trying to play 1 minute games, Noah, but people are very scared. I'm struggling getting challenges for 1 minute games. Magnus not playing the next World Championship match. Well, number one, Joachim, it's something he wouldn't have announced at this point before the challenger is even available. But secondly, why in Sweden? It doesn't make sense. Is he linked to a company there? Not that I know, Bateman. I know that the CEO of Chess24, he's in Copenhagen. He's a German guy, but he's in Copenhagen. So Copenhagen, it could be some kind of Chess24 thing, but Sweden, I have no idea. He doesn't have a Swedish girlfriend, Jita. Mr. Saban, if Hammarby will have him, I'm sure he would do that. If he got If there was some kind of Swedish team crazy enough to say that we will let Magnus play on our team, I think he would quit chess and try to become a soccer professional. I think that's the most likely topic we have touched upon so far. Magnus, like every little Norwegian boy, wants to be a professional soccer player. And Sweden is full of crazy Swedes. Uh, so I guess that's the one thing it could be. And beat Agdestein? I don't think he can beat Agdestein. Ooh, I switched over at the wrong time, but that's because I wanted to get ready for the first game of the day. What's the worst thing on earth about Sweden? Um, I mean, it's not like Sweden is not such a bad place. It's just that the people are just way Norwegians are just way superior to Swedes in every way. So it's like it's such a waste in any comparison. But the country itself is not that bad. Oh yeah, Surströmming is pretty good. Shout out, Joachim. They have some weird fish. They're not as good with the fish as us Norwegians. I misplayed this. Okay, let's do this. Did not see that. It's a bit unfortunate. I'm losing a lot of stuff here, but we're fine. We're fine. We're still fine-ish. Fine-ish. Still fine-ish. Very fine. Okay, finally, not losing games on time. This is how we do it. Merge of chess.com and chess24. Number one, that would not happen. Number two, why would you do it in Sweden? Good game, Sergey. Need points? Torquay, send me a challenge and we'll do a game. But you're going down. Everyone is going down today. No mercy. The question why in Sweden ruins every theory. Yes, but Ericsson, having the most Swedish sounding name in all of Chad, you should be able to suggest what's so unique about Sweden that Magnus has his press conference there. Okay, I have no idea what's going on here. Let's try to get rid of the queens. Because otherwise I might very well get checkmated. This is not good. This is very not good. I think we're gonna have to place our bishop in an unfortunate position. Okay, that was not the best move he could have made, I feel. That was certainly not the best move. That was not the best move. Oh my gosh. So many pieces. It's so difficult to keep track of all the pieces. Oh, that's not good. I'm not a big fan of that. Oh, this is not good either. Oh, that's not good. This is very bad. Okay. At least we're getting it on time. Oh man, you mean knights can go backwards? That's not great. IKEA sponsorship? Ship, that is the best suggestion so far. But maybe we can even find a somewhat nicer Swedish company than IKEA. Something cooler. Doesn't I thought Sweden makes a lot of cars. Surely there's something better uh than IKEA to sponsor him. Volvo is not that much sexier than IKEA. I think maybe that's what Sweden does. They just make common sense vehicles. Saab, yeah. Once again, common sense. Gripen is a good idea, a suggestion, Marius. Evening, David. How are you doing? Sweden hosting a 10-12 game series between Magnus and Alireza. Somehow I doubt that. Are you better than Karpov at Blitz right now? I don't think so. As long as I keep losing games to you guys, I don't think I'm better than Karpov. The boy can still play. The man. How old is Karpov now? I don't think he is that old, actually. I think he's like 60, 65. I think he kind of retired early. 68. Okay. What's Sweden's biggest export? Meatballs and refurbished wood. Well, I think IKEA might actually be it, but also I think they make quite a few cars. I don't actually know. This is something like when I was a kid and took kind of my geography skills very seriously. I was studying what the biggest exports of each country is. And honestly, this is something everyone should know. And maybe you don't need to know kind of the biggest export in Burkina Faso, but at the very least, you should know the biggest exports in Europe. We're gonna need a researcher for this. Wow, I'm being attacked. I just wanted a piece. If that queen had gone one square further, there would have been no way for my knight to escape. Oh, Ericsson is still going on? I thought they went bankrupt or something. Pizza Racer. I remember they were huge back in the day, in my day. Oh yeah, Sony bought Ericsson. Okay. You used to work there? You were responsible for some of the bugs. Someone's got to be responsible, Pizza Racer. Can you do it for European countries? I cannot do it for anyone, random name. But I should. It's part of what we should know. It should be our common knowledge. Okay, Torque. Let's see it. Let's see your speed. Isn't bear a big export? I don't think so. I think bear is more of a Danish thing. Yeah, I haven't played the greatest of chess. I am willing to admit as much, but I just got a free bishop, so things are looking up. I'm down 15 seconds, but I'm up some pieces, so it should be good. Yeah, Norway is also pretty big on steel. I thought Norway is much bigger on steel than Sweden, though. Because we have all of the very cheap um, water electricity with all our dams. Can you play against 2900s? I would if some were challenging me down. Oh yeah, aluminium. Let's see, what's the difference between steel and aluminium? It's kind of the same thing, no? It's like two different things put into one, no? I think both you need a lot of energy to make it. Okay, Ericsson is in the house with a challenge. Different materials? Yeah, but it's probably close to the same technique, right? Probably the same. You need the same sort of energy levels to create it and stuff, right? Aluminium is it good stuff. Okay, so in that case, why do you have to make it if it already exists? I should stay away from our science discussions. Anything that has to do with science, not really my strong suit. I once massively failed a science test. It's the worst grade I have ever gotten. Let's not take that one. Let's take that one. That one. That one. Okay, we're up 4 pawns. Should be enough. Pawn endgames can be tricky. They're less tricky when you're 5 pawns up, 6 pawns up, 7 pawns up. I should have gone with the 7 queens, but I'm a no nonsense kind of guy. We just go for the checkmate. I don't know, random name. I don't know. But I'm not sure. I'm starting to think Fabiano is a big favorite. 50% is maybe a bit too much, but I think he's pretty close to being that big of a favorite, like 40 or 35%. Hammer lost his glasses. No, I'm having some troubles with them. They're creating some tears, some watering. eyes. And somehow it gets a bit better if I take off the glasses. You just didn't prepare? I don't know if that's true, Mario. But yeah, it was a really bad grade. It was a multiple choice quiz. And I was basically guessing every single. It was chemistry. I really didn't like chemistry. And my excuse for being bad is very often that it was, if it's a topic that you have to like only study and you cannot understand. But there is some logic in chemistry and molecules and stuff like that, I think. So I guess I just never understood it. In which case it's my teacher's fault, not mine. Karana 50, ding 30, then what? Yeah, maybe more like Karana 40, ding 25. And then I would have Giri as number 3. Giri, then Grischuk, something like that. I don't have a lot of faith in Nepomniachtchi. I think Nepomniachtchi is ridiculously talented, but he's a very moody player. And when you're playing a 14-round tournament, if you get one loss, which ruins your mood, then you're just gonna get another one, and it's not good. You use my bullet opening, but always end up in trouble on the king side. That's basically what happens whenever I use it as well, Bergen. I just play so quickly that you don't even realize how much of a disaster it is. Anish has 0% chance of winning, 0% chance of losing, and 100% chance finishing dead middle. I think Khajabov is taking that role, Apol. I think Anish has decent chances. 10% sounds a bit high. So maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's like Fabiano 45 and Ding 25. And then, Giri something, Grischuk something, Nepo something. It's difficult to assess ahead of time, but I really think Fabiano is going to win the candidates. Can you say Nepomniachtchi like Atalagun says it? No, I cannot, because I have no idea how he says it. Marius. I'm sure he says it the correct way. But actually, we had this discussion on our TV2 panel this past week. We had the discussion whether or not it was more or less correct when you had the Norwegian transcription of Russian names over the English ones. Because for these players, the English transcription kind of becomes their brand. And if we're so obsessed with having it correct, as in a Norwegian transcription, then we might as well use the Cyrillic ones, right? Nepomniachtchi. 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 I think that's my best based on what you just wrote, Marius. By the way, is Magnus coming to TV2? I don't know, Mr. Saban. Okay, it seems as though Mr. Sergey is not here. So we will move on. Do another game against Duncan. Chris in the house using the Twitch Prime for a 7-month resub. Thank you so much, Chris. And I do want to mention to all Norwegians out there that Twitch Prime is included in your Amazon Prime Video subscription. It's a really good deal for which you can get a lot of the top movies to stream, but also get a monthly subscription on Twitch. I've said it before, but I feel like it deserves repeating because it's actually a very good deal. That's a double attack. I guess let's take this one. Any good shows on Prime? Let's see. I feel like I've watched most of them now. But yeah, I mean, there's definitely very good shows. It's just that I've already watched it. It's the full set of The Mentalist, which is what I've been spending most time watching. But yeah, it's so disappointing, that whole Red John storyline. I didn't like it before, I still don't like it. Such nonsense. I don't understand why all of these writers are so obsessed with having some weird storyline. I'm getting checkmated big time. That was, I think one of those moves was a mouse slip. I don't think I intended to make that move. I don't know how, but I was trying to play f6 and somehow I started clicking on my queen, but it worked out beautifully. How do you rate Laurent's chance against Ali Reza? Are they playing each other, Galactic? Are they playing each other in the Banter Blitz Cup? What's the occasion? 1 in 20 seems a bit rough if it's over the board. Have you seen Treadstone? Oh yeah, I started watching Treadstone, but it didn't really catch my attention that much. I didn't think it was that good. I don't know. Maybe I lost track of it too soon. Sneaky Pete is good. I don't know, Chiropractor. I just saw him killing a guy for no good reason, and it became too dark for me. Yeah, I need to, Joachim, I need to check out Good Omen and American Gods because I've heard good things. I started watching The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, but I kind of lost track. I kind of lost it halfway into the first season. It didn't really stick with me. Jack Ryan is really good, and there's also this The Widow. I think that's on Prime. The Widow with Kate Beckinsale is really good, and Jack Ryan is really good. But the problem is, whenever there's something new, I just watch it within 2 days, and then it's gone. But someone who's not as intense about their TV show watching as I am, there's a lot of good content there. Karana 40, Ding 25, Giri 5, Nepo 10. I mean, I would go lower, Mr. Saban. I would go higher on Fabiano and lower on Nepo, Alexenko, and Khajabov. I don't think there's any chance Khajabov is winning this. The boys I haven't heard of, but both Joachim and Hoki giving it a shout out. I'll have to check it out. Okay, let's go move on. Let's move on. We're doing a 1 minute game against Galactic. And as far as I know, I think Galactic is one of the only people who has ever gotten points off me in 1 minute chess. But I might be confusing him with someone else. Okay, we're playing like this. The hippopotamus. Always a good go-to opening. They have no idea where I'm going to put my king. It's the waiting game. Okay, let's just play this, maybe. That was a silly move. I should have just taken the bishop. Okay, so I'm losing stuff over here, but I'm hoping I'm winning stuff over here. Who knows how this is going to go? Wow. Okay, I'm very happy with this move. Okay, I'm not so happy with that move. Maybe we'll win on time. There's a free knight here. It's not great. Okay, we got the checkmate. That's pretty sweet. I'm not sure we fully deserved that, but all we needed was the bishop and the queen working together. He could have all of the other pieces. I don't know, chiropractor. I'm sure there's places to bet on chess if you're so inclined. Can you please start a stream with hello, welcome to this video? I wouldn't want to be accused of plagiarism, Marius. I thought that was Agadmator's go-to. Norder, did you catch the end of this game? Because it was pretty cool. I don't think chat is being really loud enough in their appreciation of what just went down. Maybe it's because I'm playing it cool. I should stop playing it cool. I should just go absolutely crazy when stuff like this happens. Peshkar? I don't know, Bill. He's just a little kid. I have a policy of not commenting on anyone under the age of 18. So we're not even discussing Ali Reza's world championship chances. There has been other people at Ali Reza's level, Vai, who didn't really manage to get into the top 10, never mind world championship level. So I'm going to say for the little Ukrainian kid and for Ali Reza that it's too soon to tell. Oh, Frez and Ali Reza are playing in the Banter Blitz Cup if Ali Reza wins. Yes, that is true. Ali Reza will beat Frez in an internet blitz match. I'm gonna give my support to MVL on that, who said that Laurent has no chance against Ali Reza. I agree. Ali Reza is pretty badass on the internet. He's crushing everyone. He's pretty good in general as well, to be fair. Pizza Racer. razor and shaving cream. You know, for 100 bits. I was gonna say I can go to the barber shop, but that's not really true in Norway. Maybe in some other country. Is Alireza better than Nakamura at Bullet and Blitz? I mean, they have interesting battles against each other. So I wouldn't say Alireza is better, but I think they give each other a good challenge. I mean, I would still put Anish above Nepomniachtchi, Mr. Saban. But yeah, I think you're close to something. Can't do that. Okay, it's too tempting. I don't really know what my idea for a follow-up is, but I just felt like taking that bishop. I could have waited a bit. Could have done it after, later. But this looks pretty decent now. Ooh, the knight got back into defense. Well done, knight. Ooh, I'm low on time. It's unusual. I'm very low on time. Like the position where nothing could go wrong is starting to go wrong. Now he's doing crazy things. Time troubles on chess 24 is a bit strange. Wang Hao is almost top 10. Yes, he is, Chess Weeb. He's pretty good. Leia, a quiz Magnus and I had in Reykjavik some time ago. It's many, many years ago. Many years ago. I don't think there's a video. There's a photo. There's also on my Instagram, I have a photo of Magnus and myself just as we got out of the elevator back at the hotel with our quiz trophy. It was not the biggest trophy you've ever seen, but we were very proud of having gotten it. We divided our roles in the quiz very well. Magnus answered the questions, and I found the directions to the venue. That's optimizing strategy 101. How long are you going to be streaming for? Ripper, I'm going to go for another 2 hours. What was the quiz? I mean, it was chess related. Chess questions. It's I think it's an annual thing they do at the Reykjavik Open. That they have a chess pub quiz. Dragging or clicking pieces, what's faster? Well, dragging is faster, for sure. Do you remember any of the questions? No, not really. I remember one of the questions being something about a game played by um, Basman or something. Some crazy Dutch guy. Not that there's... Not that crazy Dutch guy is a very good description because it kind of includes a lot of people. But yeah, some crazy Dutch guy. Bus boom, something like that. One question I think was about Tony Miles, also crazy British guy. I think that's the one. I think that's the one, Mr. Sabon. Surely I have a winning move here. Although I don't see it. Magnus New Games played in 1938. Yes, that was probably also part of the quiz. Were you there, Leah? Oh yeah, oh you're referencing Fiona and Howell's description. I gotcha. I understand. What's your take on the classical world championship being decided by another format? I mean, I think that's the same as if the Champions League of soccer is decided by penalty shootout. I think if you have shown yourself to be of equal strength for a prolonged period of time, then we're gonna get freaky. We need to have a winner, and we're gonna decide somehow. And I think rapid chest is as good as any alternative for deciding after 12 drawn games. Next year, we're going to have 14 drawn games first. Very exciting. He blundered. Big blunder by Mr. Sergey. We're doing this. We have an extra rook. So Anna, to answer your question, I don't have a problem with it. I think deciding it in rapid after being tied after so many classical games, I think that's completely fine. Back not too long ago, actually, 15 years ago, if the match was tied, then the reigning champion would be declared the winner. And I'm not saying two wrongs make a right. I'm just saying that whatever your thoughts on the rapid, you've gotta think it's better than some of the stuff done in the past. I did not play this very well. Okay, move the queen over to this side of the board and hope for the best. Standard strategy. He has rook c4, but did not see it, so we're fine. We're fine. We're very good. Oh, that's not good. Please don't protect your pawn. Thank you. I might get checkmated on the long diagonal. Kind of scared about being checkmated. Very scared. Let's try to exchange queens. Yes, let's get rid of those. Because that was somewhat intimidating. Here we are on the light squares, ready to push forward. Let's do this. Protecting all of our guys. That was a mistake. I'm not playing this very well. It's a draw position, but we're gonna get the win on time. Yeah, it should be interesting, Chigas. I'll be streaming after the match as well, so I better do well. Because otherwise I'm gonna be in such a bad mood. You don't agree with that chess 960 tiebreak idea? No. No, definitely not. I think chess 960 is less chess than rapid. But that might be a controversial point of view. But then, should not the World Championship in Rapid be decided by Classical in case of a playoff? No, I don't think so, Anna. It's about how much time you have to decide it as well. Which is why I'm happy to have the Rapid Championship decided with a Blitz playoff. Because the lower the time control, the less time you want to spend deciding who wins. You flagged. I flagged the other guy, Abdu. I'm allowed to do that for my confidence, if nothing else. I don't know, Mr. Saban. At some point, you gotta decide who's the winner. If you have played 14 classical games, which is the new rules, and then in addition to that, you've played how many rapid games is it? It's like 8 rapid games? No. Maybe it's just the 4 rapid games and then 2 quick rapid and then some blitz games. I mean, the amount of games you have to play in a world championship match before it goes to Armageddon is insane. At that point, the players deserve to get to go home and, sleep for an eternity. What about playing the rapid playoff first? Yeah, that was an interesting suggestion, Galactic. No one's really been talking about it. I asked my dad, who is a professor of game theory, and he thought playing the rapid first was a mistake. Because then one player will have a very clear incentive to go for a draw every single time. Whereas if you keep the tiebreak being at the end of the tournament, um, then at least there's a certain unknown factor which might not make people go for the draw as aggressively um, as they would. But I think it's an interesting concept. It's one of the more interesting concepts that have been launched in this draw discussion thingy. No, Anna, I have never played an Armageddon. That's a very good question. I have never been in a situation to play an Armageddon. And frankly, neither have most of the top players until the Norway Chess Tournament had their Armageddon concept last year. Attila coming in with a 22-month resub. Thank you so much, Attila. Yeah, I don't like that, Mr. Sabon. I didn't even like that they expanded the number of games to 14. Um, I thought it was good as is with 12 games. And I think this reasoning Magnus was launching that there's going to be fewer draws if there's 14 so many games. More games means fewer draws. He actually got people on the internet repeating that train of thought, which is the silliest thing I've ever heard. More games leading to fewer draws? It's ridiculous. I mean, maybe as a percentage, maybe, But in total, I mean, the Magnus said after the match that he was scared going for it or something, or like that the players would be. I feel like there's less risk going for a win if you have a lot of games to catch up at the end. And I mean, in a 14 game match, we're just going to see Magnus trying to make a draw for 14 games and then winning the tiebreak against Fabiano. I have no faith this the increase in games is going to lead to fewer draws. But on the other hand, I suppose that Fabiano, if he does qualify another time, at least he's gonna know that rapid games is not gonna be something he wants. I think essentially what's gonna happen next time is that Fabiano considers kind of getting into a rapid tiebreak being pretty close to losing the match. And maybe he's going to be even more aggressive with the black pieces towards the end. I don't know. On the other hand, that's kind of what Magnus is trying to make happen. Was it Magnus's idea to get 14 games? Well, Magnus asked for more games. He was asking for 16. And the World Chess Federation said, no, 16 is too much, but we can do 14. Espen with a big 2 year anniversary and the 24 months of subbing. Thank you so much, Espen. Hey, Bum DC. Yeah, I think the last game was in like 18 moves, where Magnus had a big advantage with black. But Magnus had just decided before the game that he wanted to make a draw and win the tiebreak. So that's what he did. Fabiano got better at rapid since the last World Championship. I'm not sure that's true, Noah. But he better hope so. Because I feel like the strategy Magnus had was based on just surviving until the rapid and then winning. We had some interviews with Fabiano the day before the final tiebreak of the World Championship. And he was like, no, 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 I consider my chances in rapid to be okay. I don't believe in all of this. Everyone else saying that Magnus is going to win the rapid and so on and so forth. And kind of when you're competing, you have to say that. But I kind of believed him. I believed that he actually thought that. Then he got destroyed, losing 3 games in a row. So yeah, that's rough. Yeah, Norder. I was kind of happy that Magnus didn't win the first game because I think if Magnus had won the first one, Fabiano would never have recovered. And Magnus had a completely winning position in the first game with black. So yes, the match between Fabiano and Magnus was incredibly close. But there were circumstances that could have made the match much less interesting. And in particular, the very first game, if Fabiano loses that with the white pieces, I don't see him bouncing back from that. Have you beaten Fabiano over the board? Yes, I have. BSing in a blitz game. The Norway chess before the tournament starts. They have a blitz tournament to decide who gets more games with white. And I was losing to everyone. I had a winning position against Anish and messed it up. I made a draw against Grishchuk and then I lost all of the other games. It was very sad. I got schooled by MVL. MVL is really good at blitz. Um, anyway, in that tournament, the only one who did as poorly as me, that was Fabiano. And I beat him in our game. In fact, I have never lost against Fabiano in a competitive game. I'm pretty sure that's true. We made a draw in a rapid tournament in San Francisco. We made a draw in the Pro Chess League once. We made a draw in that Norway chess tournament with the classical time control. And I beat him in the blitz. So I would be very happy if Fabiano qualified again. Any chance to boast about my score against the very best in the world? That's how that's my style. Do you think it's a pro or a con for Caruana to have played Magnus in a world championship match before? I think it's very beneficial for him, Marius. I think Fabiano has some very clear thoughts on what he needs to do differently this year than compared to 2 years ago. And I think Fabiano came pretty close to beating Magnus. And I think he learned a lot from that match, even though he lost it. What's your score against Magnus? It's not very good. But I have a couple of wins against him. Krishna, yes, it's very different playing on a board than online. I very much prefer playing over the board. I don't know why that is. Because I can be pretty quick online. It's just something with the way I see the pieces just works better for me on a board. Mr. Saban, I didn't realize you were Swedish. Uh, if Magnus was to retire, he would never announce it in Sweden. Yeah, that's basically our conclusion. Any sort of whatever the announcement is, if you ask why in Sweden, it never makes sense. I think we concluded it has to be a sponsorship deal with some sort of Swedish company. And then we started discussing what are Sweden's major exports to understand which company it could be. And then we only really knew about Volvo and Saab and IKEA, and we lost the discussion there. The thing I'm referencing is Magnus's press conference tomorrow. There's a link to his Twitter message in the Twitch chat. Did you play Ding in Classical? Yes, I did, MSU. I'm pretty happy with that as well. I had a really interesting game against Ding and I think it was a line in the Emirates. Was a really competitive game. I sacrificed and exchanged, and it was super complicated, and it went into an end game, in which I salvaged a draw. So I have one draw against Mr. Ding. And also, actually, some of the other candidates, I have a very nice score against Mr. Van Hao. I beat him in Blitz and Norway chess, and I also beat him in the classical game in Norway chess. Plus, we made a draw or two elsewhere. So I got some good scores against some of these people. Mr. Geary as well. I have a couple of draws against Mr. Geary, but honestly, he was lucky. I think I've been like a pawn up against Geary twice, but he's a slippery guy. That's really the reason he's making so many draws. He's very difficult to beat, even when you have a good position. What is the press conference about? We don't know, Ori. But if you would like to submit your speculation or guess, please do tell. Because the rest of us, we are stumped. We've been trying to guess what the topic is for Magnus's press conference, and we're really not sure. I don't think Magnus is gonna cancel playing the World Championship. But we'll see. The reason One of the reasons I'm asking is because I really do not understand what they're announcing that made them go to Sweden to announce it. So it's gotta be pretty special or weird. Magnus changing federations to Sweden. I mean, no Norwegian would voluntarily be involved with Swedish people. So that's not it. I guarantee it. Hey Castle, how are you doing? Stockholm syndrome. Yeah. Honestly, not such a bad suggestion. Yeah. Okay, that's a free rook. I'll take it. I do not understand anything of what you just wrote, MSU. Do you want to rephrase? You're crushing opponents with too little effort? Yeah, but that's exactly why I wanted to play here. This is why I wanted to play 1 minute chess to begin with. I wanted to crush you guys. I've been struggling the past couple of days. You guys have been walking all over me. I wanted to get some wins. Yeah, Ori, it's a work in progress. It's something to look forward to. Random moves, I will tell you this. One of the problems of playing 1 minute chess against someone who's much worse than yourself is that it becomes much more difficult to predict their moves. So oftentimes I will have some problems in 1 minute chess against the lower rateds because they don't think the same way I do about chess. Which is, that's how it is. When is the press conference? I think it's 1 p.m. tomorrow, Rook Lifter. We need to invent a media company. Actually, um, some people I have worked with in the past contacted me to ask whether I knew anything about this and whether or not they should send some people to Stockholm. And I said I didn't know anything because that was the truth. But yeah, they were considering sending people. But that's the problem with not announcing kind of what you're going to do a press conference about. It makes your target audience not really. It makes them insecure about. Oh, that's a nice pre-move. I'm very happy with that pre-move. It makes the media outlets uncertain about whether or not to send people. And when in doubt, you're probably not going to send anyone, right? Ori, yeah, that is true. Magnus on his Twitter did say it's great news. But that hasn't really helped us narrow down what it could be. I still think that a Swedish company going in as a sponsor, it's got to be that. I think that's the best suggestion we've had in chat. Fancy, thank you, Norder, for paying attention and for making the effort of complimenting my sweet, sweet checkmate. They're gonna develop a Play Nils app. Honestly, that would be pretty good. Galactic. Releasing a song with ABBA. There was a suggestion that kind of is reminiscent of of that one, Reinbach, and that is someone suggested that he's going to Sweden to play professional soccer. And number one, Swedes are the only people dumb enough to let Magnus play on their soccer team. And number two, Magnus would definitely quit chess if it meant he could become a professional soccer player. So that's the second best suggestion. Jump starting his rap career. I don't know. I think soccer career more likely than a rap one. Win-win situation for sure. Stop bad mouthing the Swedish. I mean, I'm Norwegian. It's what we do. I can't help myself. It's just a natural instinct. Okay, I guess we're opening up for something. Maybe we're just exchanging stuff. Getting rid of some of these guys. Oh, come on, come on, come on. What's the fanciest? I couldn't decide what was the most elegant. I think this is going to be good enough, at least. Oh, Twitch Railbird, could I take a piece for free? No. I don't think so. But it was good enough what I did. Mauslip, I sometimes even checkmate with a pawn. Is one country more Viking than the others? I mean, MSU, I think so. But basically, all of both Norway and Denmark and Sweden had Vikings. But they kind of weren't the same kind of Vikings. So, like, as I understand it, the Swedish Vikings, They were they went to the east and they were traveling down the Eastern European rivers towards Constantinople. No, what was it called back then? Miklagard? Istanbul. I mean, Istanbul is a fascinating place. It's like the center of every civilization the last, well, forever. Um, so I think that was like the Swedish Vikings. And then the Norwegian Vikings were, my impression is that they were kind of more explorers. They went to Iceland and Greenland and Newfoundland and the Shetland Islands and so on. And then there's the Danish Vikings, which I don't really know anything they did. Which country did the Berserker thing come from? I don't really know, chiropractor. My impression is that the Danish Vikings were more important than I give them credit for. And the fact that I'm saying the Norwegian Vikings were the important ones probably correlates with me being Norwegian. Iceland had the most badass Vikings. Yes, Ori, that was Norwegian Vikings. Well, to be fair, it was people we kind of said we don't want you to live in Norway anymore. So Iceland is like the um, Australia of Norway. The Danish Vikings were knitting. That's basically what I'm saying, Eskil. I'm not really sure what they did. Hey, King John. I go by Yoon, actually. So we might not be name brothers after all. Wasn't Leif Erikson a Viking? Yes, he was. He was the son of Eric the Red, who was banned from Norway and went to live in Iceland. I have been to the birthplace of Leifur Eriksson. It's like this completely remote village way northwest in the country. That's checkmate. I didn't know life was pronounced that way. Well, now you know. In Icelandic, his name was Leifur. We had this discussion yesterday as well. That Icelandic is basically Norwegian and adding a at the end. My Magnus and I had one of our favorite quotes from the Icelandic sagas, which was basically the history, the guy writing down all the stories, Snorri Saga, of what was going on in Iceland. And one of our favorite quotes, which we used repeatedly as a meme of our time, it was a quote where some guy killed another guy, and then he excused himself for killing the other guy by saying, "Oh, it wasn't my fault. He was so perfectly placed for a kill." And I don't know, it doesn't sound as good in English, but in Norwegian it's Han sto så lagelig til for hugg, which we found very entertaining. And that became a repeated repeated quotes whenever we would capture something or a piece or something. Am I getting checkmated? I mean, I fear I'm getting checkmated, but at the same time, I'm getting a new queen. So I don't know how much I care about getting checkmated. We're just gonna run the king away. Okay, that's not good. That became more interesting than I was expecting. Okay. Okay, we get the win. Chiropractor, that is so ridiculously funny. I have never seen these old Viking names written in English before. Harald becomes King Harold here fair hair of Norway. That is very, very funny to me. It's like there's some things you only hear in English and there's some things you only hear in Norwegian. And once you hear the translation, it's just weird. Have you ever played against Ben Feingold? No, not over the board. I've played him on the internet. I've crushed him a couple of times. I made a YouTube video once of beating Ben. It was very enjoyable. What's the worst blender you have ever made in your chess career? I mean, undisputed, I have made so many bad moves. But I think the blunders you make in important games, even if your opponent is much, much stronger than your normal, or kind of if even if it's not as bad of a blunder as your worst one, but it's like a very bad timing, then it sticks with you the most. So more than worst blunder, it's kind of worst memory. You're basically asking me for my worst memory in chess, which is kind of rude. But I'm gonna tell you that one of the things I remember the most is spoiling a draw, basically by confusion, against Topalov in Norway chess. That really hurt because he offered me a draw in the opening and I declined and I was getting a good position, which I then spoiled and had to fight back to make a draw. And once I had actually gotten into a safe position and I had everything under control, I let my guard down and I made a huge mistake. Oh, you remember that one, Galactic? It was pretty sad. Basically, I convinced myself that he was gonna play. He had to play a certain move because otherwise I had an easy way to make a draw. But instead, he let me do the easy way to make a draw. But in my head, I was so certain he would do the thing, which didn't give me an easy way to make a draw. And then, yeah, I ended up losing. It was pretty sad. Yeah, it was pretty bad, Corrado. But I have definitely made worse blunders than that. I've done a lot of stupid stuff. And I feel like, particularly the last couple of years, my blunder rate has been exceptional. I'm making so many silly tactical mistakes. I'm usually okay with strategic decisions and stuff like that, but I can suddenly just forget that he can capture my pieces. It's weird. Kleinmeister, no, I haven't played those games you referenced. Atlanta Gambit, today I'm playing 1 minute chess, if you have the stomach for it. Solaria's, challenge me to a 1 minute game and we'll play. Come on. I'm just, I need to, we need to talk to chat once in a while. Because we don't have that many people who dare play me in 1 minute chess. And I'm sure you can understand why, because I have been killing everyone today. Whenever I play Blitz, I lose quite a few games. But now, in 1 minute chess, there's just one Viking king in this house. And that's me. Ooh, Queen Exchange. We like that. I'm good without the queens. I guess let's just castle. Ooh, he's giving me free bishops as well. I kind of misplayed this, but we're fine. Easy. Easy. Magnus really inspired me. I'm getting very good at sacrificing or giving away pieces without any attack. Have you guys seen that video series? Do you guys know where Magnus recorded that? This Chess 24 deal has really put Magnus to work. I feel like he's had to make more content than he's ever done before. Which is good for us because we get to get a first-hand glimpse into how he thinks. I think it's on Chess 24, new video series with Magnus. Fast and precise. Thank you, Benny Sile. Let me see if I can find the link to Magnus's video series. I'm surprised they're not kind of advertising it better or more. Chess24's YouTube channel has blown up because of Magnus's banter blitz. I can't believe that. Anonymous, gifting a sub to Ori. Thank you so much, Anonymous. Magnus video series. I feel like they should have that on the front page. Is it not out yet? Am I just saying nonsense? I thought it was out. I thought he made something attacking without sacrificing. Did I dream? Am I living in the Matrix or something? Did I imagine that Magnus made a video series and it doesn't exist? Wow. Twitch Railbird. I'm seriously doubting my existence right here. I can't find it. That's not. Yeah. I hope the marketing guy is not watching right now. I feel like they may have made a mistake if I can't even find it. Ah, there you are. Carnicero and Joachim. Both with a link to this Carlson video series. I genuinely Googled attacking without sacrificing and it still didn't pop up. They're gonna need some of that CEO expertise. Have you guys fully understood what that job is? I feel like there's so many people who says that, yeah, no, I do search engine optimization. They never say search engine optimization though. They just say, yeah, no, I do SEO. And it's always like ridiculously young people without really a degree or anything. But they're like the most important part of the company because they know how to SEO. It's real? Okay. As long as we confirm that it's real, Ori. At least I don't feel as crazy as I did some seconds ago. CEO more important than CEO. That's the impression I've gotten. I just don't understand it, Norder. It's really not even a joke. They really think that. I'm disputed with the moves, getting me low on time, but I think I'm getting there. This pawn is going the distance. Ooh, preventing my pre-move. How much of the time are knights better than bishops? Oof, I don't know, Ori. I would say bishops are better most of the time. Maybe like 20-25% for the knights. Sorry, Kaner, I'm only playing against Chess24 premium members. Okay, we're playing against John next. Your knights were beating bishops yesterday. Well, the thing is, random moves. It's a tricky thing to evaluate, but very often in blitz games and in games with shorter time controls, the knights kind of become better because they're more difficult to keep track of. And so this is a very real thing. In games with lower time controls, the knights are legitimately better than normal. I just blundered a piece. He didn't see it. We're good. Hammer reading chat and still crushing in bullet. Yeah, that's how I roll. I mean, not even going to take that rook. I changed my mind. Massacre, yeah. But that's why I wanted to play 1 minute chess today, Benny. I wanted to get some wins. I wanted to get a good feeling. And we have succeeded in that mission. Does the good night have a good atmosphere? I think so, Ori. I think it's pretty cool. Do you have anything like it in Iceland? Because with Iceland's chess tradition, a similar concept could be a thing, right? Okay, we're gonna take with a pawn because I want to prevent his knight from getting into the game, and even taking with the pawn gives my knight a good square. Because yes, my knight would have been good here, but sometimes it's better to have your pieces behind your pawns so that they don't get into any sort of trouble. Galactic getting a bit desperate. We'll do this and then this. And this. We're just taking everything, poor guy. This is in case you don't know, chess has some very distinctive hand movements. Chess kind of has its own sign language. And one of the very important things you need to know with your hand is that when you do this, and especially it's a hand movement, but you also have to do the neck at the same time. So you do like this, it means I don't know. I don't know. And it's especially used when you analyze after a game and you cannot really make a noise because there are other people still playing. And then you go like, I maybe I could have done this move, and then you show with your hand, and then you do this twist to say, yeah, I don't know, maybe this move. But also very important, the one I just showed you is when you go like this, it just means you completely crushed them. Completely crushed them. Hammer. I have this philosophy, and I think this is worth mentioning. I think that if you get an opportunity to be a part of a poll, a political poll, then you should always take that opportunity, because when you're one person, your opinion only holds true for kind of yourself, and then you can try to convince your closest friends to change their view and so on and so forth. But really, it's not very big scale. But if you are a part of a nationwide poll, then you get to represent, well, in my case, men, uh, college dropouts between 25 and 30. I don't think I fully understand the science behind polling, but my idea is that at that point you get to represent thousands of voices instead of just your one. And so you should take that opportunity to give your opinions, because then they will matter to the politicians more than if someone else had answered that poll. Does that make sense? We have a lot of mathematicians in chat. Maybe you can tell me whether I'm crazy or not. Anyway, this wasn't a poster, but I took it in case it was. It was just some guy wanting me to do some kind of consumer testing thing. Hammer gets the update on the media interview. Honestly, that could have been it, Daddy Cool. That would have been sweet. Just getting the call informing me what's going on while you guys have to stay in the dark would be pretty cool. Pretty good. Unsub, honestly, I mean, if you could read lips, I should maybe be careful of that. But it was a very innocent conversation. He wanted to give me 1,000 kroners to do some testing on their product. Honestly, I was gonna say yes. Anything that gets me out of the house, right? But they wanted me to go all the way to Fornebu. And I didn't really want to go that far. Britney Spears wants to invite Hammer to the press conference. That would have been more difficult to turn down. Nobody. You're a lumberjack for real, Mouse Slip? Really? That's pretty cool. What do lumberjacks do these days? It's got to be one of those professions that's being overrun with technology. How much is that in real money? Like $110. Twitch Railbird. Even if a deaf person can read lips, they only get around 40% of it. But isn't that the amazing thing about our brains? That we can construct so much from just small parts. I mean, there's got to be many situations where we have less than 40% understanding, but still are completely follow through context. Context is so powerful. Certified lumberjack in Switzerland. Oh, like a person who creates things with wood, or the guy chopping down the trees? He's a lumberjack and he's okay. Sleeps all night and he works all day. Mm-mm-mm-mm. It had to happen, unsub. It had to happen. He's a lumberjack and he's okay. Sleeps all night and he works all day. But honestly, if you are a lumberjack, imagine how sick you are of people starting to sing that song every time you tell them what you do. Poor guy. My position is not very good right now. Okay, it's getting better. Okay, it's time to go bananas. Okay, I don't think that was a very good move. But we've done it, so we might as well live with it. I don't know why he's not going bishop h3. I think maybe he lost his internet connection. Because bishop h3 holds everything together. Maybe I can go e5 and bishop c. No, it doesn't work. I think bishop h3 was just fine. Yeah, it's a tough job, but someone's got to do it, chiropractor. I heard some stories about people dying after being to a chiropractor. So I like the concept of them healing our, muscles and stuff. But I feel like there's some scary stories out there. Ah, your internet crashed. Yeah, we were just discussing that, Sergey, that you were actually having a pretty okay position. Let's not do that. Let's do that instead. He's a lumberjack and he's okay. Sleeps all night and he works all day. Yeah, once again, an interesting game. I was getting crushed there at some point, Sergey, but I made a bit of a recovery. I think I needed to sacrifice that knight just to make it interesting, because otherwise I was just going to get squeezed. High visibility jacket and a new chainsaw. Yeah, that's the most intimidating thing about lumberjacks. They do some very, very tricky jobs with some pretty scary tools. It's a singing stream. Yeah, there's a guy in chat, Marius, who's a lumberjack, and then someone brought up the lumberjack song, and here we are. It was bound to happen, unavoidable, considering the circumstances. What a stupid guy. Yeah. Well, I mean, he wasn't being stupid if he wanted the stream to become a singing stream, I suppose. That may have been the whole goal of mentioning the lumberjack song to begin with. Really, Marius? Chainsaws scare you the most? I don't know. There's quite a few scary things in the world. I'm not sure that's on top of my list. Okay, I suddenly realized I'm low on time, so I'm just started playing a bit faster because it's such a good position. It would be a shame for this to be my first loss. Oh, I didn't even realize he could move. This is very close to stalemate, but not close enough. Do you like Monty Python or the Faulty Towers better? How do you? I don't understand the question, Chess Weeb. I don't, because Monty Python is the comedy group, right? Is there a movie called Monty Python? Because Faulty Towers is a TV show. So if you're going to compare something to the Faulty Towers, you should compare it to another TV show, right? Is Monty Python a TV show? I didn't think so. Flying Circus. or Faulty Towers. Well, I haven't seen The Flying Circus, and I have seen Faulty Towers. And Faulty Towers is kind of funny. Is Flying Circus like all of the sketches though together? Because I mean, if we're comparing with like the Ministry of Silly Walks and all of that stuff, then it becomes tricky again. Oh, it's just a collection of all the sketches. Okay, that makes it tricky. That makes it very tricky. Um, Faulty Towers is a bit silly. But the sketches are pretty silly as well. Do you guys know Magnus's favorite? It's actually not Monty Python. Although he likes a lot of stuff from Monty Python, but I think if he had to choose between Yes Minister and Monty Python, he would go for Yes Minister. And that stuff is so good. So good. And actually, I saw there's this British politician turned comedian or something. I discovered just the other day, and he was one of the panel shows he did. He had this kind of rant, which was very similar to Mr. Humphrey in Yes Minister. I forget his name. It was like Guy. It sounded French. I don't understand how you can be in the British Parliament and have a French sounding name. Surely they would have kicked you out a long time ago. You never heard of Yes Minister surfing? You are in for a treat. I think you can just go to YouTube and there's going to be a lot of like highlights and stuff. Like the best of Yes Minister on YouTube. It's good. Some of the best satire ever written. Mark Francois is one of the British MPs pushing the hardest for Brexit. Well, maybe he's sick of all the British people in France interrupting his family's 4 generations ago chateau losing value because of all the tourists or something. I mean, I was making that up, but it could be the truth. Some generations ago, his family lived in France, and they still summer at the family chateau. Oh, really, Marius? It's not that good? That's disappointing. I also liked that when I was younger. But I easily believe you when you tell me it's not that good as you get older and understand more. I don't Crusoe. I don't really understand why people think the Knights Who Say Ni is so good. It's also one of Magnus's favorite. But I don't get it. I don't understand why it's so funny. I guess I don't understand. Maybe I'm expecting there to be some kind of hidden meaning and there's not. How is this guy just giving away his pieces and getting away with it? Okay. You could have taken my knight, sir. That's why I hesitated. You could have, it was just free. Uh, we're gonna need to rewind and rewatch that. I think that's deserving of a replay. This whole game should just be banned from anyone ever watching again. What just happened? Number one, I didn't realize his bishop was on the diagonal to capture my queen, which is not great. Then he plays the right move, and instead of taking my queen with his bishop, he takes it with his queen. That's pretty bad. It's bad that I blundered it, but it's also bad that he didn't take it. And then to follow up, he blunders two pieces in a row. Oh man, that was not the best game. And also earlier here, he could have just taken my knight, which is why I spent 3 seconds on my move, because I realized he can actually take that one without getting punished for it. 2103, by the way. Well, I was 2800 and gave away my queen. I mean, both are pretty bad. Oh, Marius, I was just barely reading what you wrote. So I saw you mentioning Florklipa and I thought, oh no, no way Florklipa gets worse when you rewatch it. But that's not what you said, was it? Has anyone here outside of Norway watched Florklipa? Does it have a different name in English? Because that's honestly some Norwegian TV that should be exported. It's very good. Yeah, Avranya did blunder the queen against Magnus. It happens, Bergen. Even us, the best chess players in the world, we make mistakes too. Crusoe, haven't you seen Beforeigners? I'm considering watching that. I just never watch anything produced in Norway. I don't know if it's a principle or if I just think Norway TV making is depressing by design. I kind of like the blockbuster style. It's a reason it works, right? It's entertaining. Oh, I'm playing against a pretty good guy. I should concentrate more. He let me exchange off the queens. Big mistake. I regret that move. We get another chance. I regret that move. I have regrets. Regrets, I have a few. But then again, oh, this guy is very quick. I'm gonna have to be careful here. Okay, we got the win. The Pinchcliffe Grand Prix. Are you kidding me? And now I have a question for all the Norwegians in chat. Have you ever heard of the Pinchcliffe? Also, question for Norwegians. Did you really know what floor means? Floor klipa? Is klipa cliff in Norwegian? I didn't even know the Norwegian meaning. Okay, apparently some of the Norwegians knew about this translation. But I had no idea. First time you heard it when you Googled it. Classic cameras. Classic. Hearing about something for the first time from Google. That's the way the world usually works. I misclicked. I misclicked. That is not a 1 minute challenge. You are not a premium member, sir. That is not a 1 minute challenge. Klype equals pinch. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. But it doesn't make me less confused. Flaw is something you do to people you don't like. That's a bit of an understatement. It's a bit of an understatement if you want to use that part of the word. That interpretation, that you can just go back. I'm not really threatening anything. Flaw is what Hammer does to other chess players. Yeah. And Duncan is the current victim. I guess we'll just move this king away. For sure it has other meanings as well, right? Marius? Are we sure that is the intended meaning? Same as skinning? Yes. Which makes it definitely something reserved for your adversaries. Okay, let's take this one. Let's do this. This looks pretty good. Got a checkmate coming up. Yes, there is that too, Marius. There is that too. I'm not sure whether that's too middle class for Twitch chat, but I suppose not. That was a good knight on d6. It was good as long as it lived, Kleinmeister. And then it stopped living, and then it was my supper. Is Hammer your real name? I know a guy named Nail. Do you really though, or are you just making a joke? I don't think anyone in Norway is called Spike, which is the Norwegian translation of nail. Ali, if you're a Chess24 premium member, you can challenge me to a 1 minute game. I'm doing that today. I'm winning so many games, so much rating. 100% win rate today. Not even a single draw given away. I'm very much enjoying my decision to have a 1 minute day. I don't know why. I think it's just because I focus on the game when it's 1 minute. And I don't focus normally. Because when we're playing Blitz, I just kind of feel like, oh, there's a lot of time and I don't really have to stress about it. And then when we play Bullet, I allow myself to focus fully on the game for a minute. and let chat live its own life. I think that's helping the score. It's the checkmate with a pawn. The ultimate humiliation. Hey Halvard, how are you? Nobody named Speaker, but apparently 10 men named Nail. In Norway, really? Did they just misspell Neil? That's kind of embarrassing. For their parents, if nothing else. If Hammer was my last name, I would name my son Sledge. There's this joke about if your last name is Nil, there's this comedian who thought you should name your son One, because then it would be 1-0. Come to think of it, I'm not sure it was very funny, that joke. Spiker is Spike. It's the Norwegian spelling of Spike, which does remind me that there are people named Spike. So Spike Hammer is very much could be a real name. There could be someone in the world whose name is Spike Hammer. By the way, Americans or English speaking people, what is Spike a nickname of? I feel like it's a shortening of some other name, but I couldn't possibly imagine what name Spike would be a shortening of. You can make it happen. I'm glad you have faith in me, Marius. I'm not Spike. Not sure Spike is on the top of the list. On my kids' name list. I do have a list though. But it only has one name. I like Sasha for a girl. Not Alexandra. Very important distinction. But Sasha. I really like kind of calling Grischuk Sasha, but I don't think it's as good for a boy as it is for a girl. Maybe not for the firstborn, but you think at the fifth try, when you're sick of coming up with names, you're just gonna go with a joke, Marius? John Jr.? I don't see myself using Junior in any names either. If you were a dart player, your coming on stage song would be MC Hammer. I don't know. I don't know. There's a lot of good songs to choose between there. I wouldn't want to commit to an MC Hammer song without really putting a lot of thought into my alternatives. It's not short for anything? Okay, Hookie. I feel like Spike is a normal name for a dog. There's got to be someone named Hammer in the world who named their dog Spike. Good evening, Perpetual. How are you doing? Do you think I'm going to get this? No. Denied. Let's just develop. Ooh, I might be capturing this one. That's pretty fun. It's a lot of fun. And then this one. Maybe I should move this one first. Let's move this one. Where to? I kind of didn't want to open up the H file, just in case there's an attack. But I've moved my bishop into defense, so we should be good. Now, for the queen. For the win. No, still not sure about no curls. They'll come back soon enough, Perpetual. Don't you worry. If you don't have curly hair yourself, you have no idea how much of a relief it is just having a couple of days. 1 week without the curly hair, with no chance of organizing it. It's a blessing. You never understood how Dick became short for Richard? Yeah, I'm with you on that one. I mean, I understand Richard, Rick, Dick. But I don't understand how you go from Rick to Dick. That's the weird thing. Bill for William makes sense. Well, I mean, it's the same thing, right? William Will. Bill. I disagree. I think it makes no sense going from Will to Bill. Because frankly, you're replacing a 4-letter word with another 4-letter word. What did you really accomplish there? Tell me. What kind of progress do you feel like you made going from one 4-letter word to another? It makes no sense. Edward to Ted? Really? Is that a thing? I didn't even know. Flo, thank you so much for the 15-month resub. Are you really a GM? Yes. You know how you could know that for sure? If you've been watching more than 2 minutes, you will have noticed that I am killing everyone with almost no effort whatsoever. And that's because I'm ridiculously good at chess, also known as a grandmaster. Did you ever play Magnus Carlsen? Oh, I'm loving you right now, sir. We have a command for that. New people in chat who legitimately is asking out of curiosity and who gets to discover that the last game I played against Magnus Carlsen, I was the victor. That's the kind of first impression we want to make for people. I love you too. You have made your best discovery of 2020. You better just click follow right now. If you have a Prime available, you just throw it my way. Because we're going to be hanging out this week. I'm streaming tomorrow and Friday as well. We'll have plenty of time to discuss maps and chess and Norwegian cinema. Magnus will announce tomorrow the rematch against Hammer. It's one of the better suggestions. Daddy cool. Sneaky. I'm very sneaky. Okay, not that sneaky, apparently. My sneakiness was discovered in time. Oh, this is so tempting. I don't think I can resist. I couldn't resist. I just couldn't. I wanted to resist. I just could not. Oh my god, I'm so good. Okay, that was probably a mistake. I was discovered. Okay, but still, these pieces should help me win the game. Okay, whatever. He's losing on time. Hammer with the cheapos. I mean, that wasn't a cheapo. That was the bishop pair. That is deserving of some bishop pair emotes. We're giving away the queen for some nice bishop and bishops and a pawn getting promoted. But I feel like I could have played that more accurately. Yeah, I should have given this check first. First check and then bishop here, maybe. Because the way I played it, he could have played rook f2. And here, I don't think I have. I mean, it still looks good for me, but I can't really see the killer blow. Hey, greeting, kid. How are you doing? Maybe this move? I don't know. It worked. The trick I did worked. How to turn on pre-move? I don't know, Ali. I would guess it's down on the lower left-hand side. You can click like the three, I don't know how to describe it. It's like three horizontal lines. And then you click it and you go to settings. And you can explore settings there. Hamburger menu. Is that a real thing? Do people? I have heard it being referred to as the hamburger menu previously, and I cannot accept that. I cannot. That is not an acceptable name. Do you make any money out of streaming? Yes, I do, dwarf. I make I make a bit. Not enough to do it full time, but enough to do it a couple of times a month. Does Hammer give lessons? Pickled pawns, I I give lessons at what my friend refers to as a fuck off price. So basically, I demand a ridiculous amount of money, and if you're willing to pay a ridiculous amount of money, I would be willing to give you lessons. But I would never advertise it because I wouldn't tell people like, yeah, for this and this sum. What's the rate? I don't know, Marius, because now I'm scared because you never know who's watching. And if someone is watching and listens and hears you say something not high enough, then then you might end up having to offer lessons, and it's called fuck off price for a reason. Are we above expensive lawyer rate? I don't think so, Marius. I don't know. I guess I would be open to a conversation if the offer was 250 or more. But to me, 250 for an hour is quite a bit of money. I don't fully understand why people would spend that on anything, really. It's not Norwegian kroners, Halvard. Let's just put it like that. It's not. It's not the failing kroners. It's the safe dollars. Also, Salah has been scoring a couple of goals. I don't know if you're paying attention to the triple captain of my fantasy team, but apparently he's looking at 11 points total. That's okay. Could be better. Are they still playing? Could he score another goal? Would be nice. Salah scored a penalty. Okay, that's good. What did you miss? You missed so much, Aquila. You missed an amazing queen sacrifice. You missed some discussions on Norwegian cinema. Now you just missed my lesson rate, which was a big reveal. And the big reveal was kind of designed to get me more 1 minute challenges, but it hasn't really happened. If you're interested in playing a game with me and you're a Chess24 premium member, then go ahead and challenge me to a 1 minute game and I'll take your challenge. This guy is unbearable. I'm okay. I don't know how to respond to that, Thulu. Maybe you should go check out YouTube. I was also, oh, this is important, Aquila. I was giving recommendations on Yes Minister. It's one of Magnus's favorite shows. It's a really good British satire. Recommended. If instead of watching me being unbearable, you can watch Yes Minister highlights. Honestly, we could just, if not for the fact that I'm contractually obliged to do chess, we could have been just watching Yes Minister YouTube videos together. That would have been pretty good. I need to ditch my contract. Do whatever I feel like. Yes Minister, have you heard of it, Aquila? The Who reads the paper sketch is very good. Yeah, I like that one, Reinbach. But I feel like that sketch really, you cannot fully appreciate it unless you have some sort of understanding of the major UK media. So, like, as a foreigner, I can understand that it's funny, but I don't fully understand it because I'm not too familiar with all of these different UK newspapers. Why is the idea of teaching so repulsive to you? I mean, Marius, it's not that it's repulsive, it's just a lot of work. Because for a stream, I don't have to prepare at all, right? But for teaching someone, it's a much bigger commitment. Um, I think that's the main thing. And it's not kind of on the stream, I'm partly entertaining myself as well as you guys. Whereas in a teaching situation, it would be most of the time different. Of course, you could have students you like better than others, but the same thing applies. United is up by 1 against Manchester City. Are you kidding me? That doesn't seem right. Number one, United having a clean sheet against City. Number two, uh, United scoring goals. Matic scoring a goal. That's got to be a first in like 5 years. Although Matic at his best has had some really amazing long shots. Yeah, that is true, Aquila. You at least people know what they're getting with me because they have seen me in a teaching situation previously. But I think, in my defense, I think tough love is what Alexandra needs. No, I'm not really taking students, Leah. Are you gonna start cheering for Inter now that Ericsson is there? I mean, Inter has been reinforcing quite a bit, right? They got Lukaku as well, right? Is Inter the one that got Chris Smalling? That's a bit of a strange transfer. Let me Google the Inter Milan first 11. Is Inter the one who got Zlatan as well? No, I think Zlatan went to AC Milan. Martinez? They have a striker at Inter I haven't even heard of that's valued at 80 million euros. That's insane. Ooh, Sanchez is playing for Inter. Barella? Bruzovic? I haven't heard of a single one of these players. I think the answer to your question is no. We're not going to be cheering for Inter. I don't know who any of these people are. Other than Sanchez, but he hasn't been good for a while. Oh, Godin is playing for Inter. Him I know. Victor Moses, really? Ashley Young? Ashley Young is at Inter? Oh, Lukaku as well. Yeah, this is weird. Suddenly, the entirety of Manchester United transferred to Inter Milan. It's weird. And Ericsson, instead of going to United, went to Inter. Maybe he got confused. Uh, Jackson Martinez. Oh, really? They have him as well? No, it's not him. No, the Martinez is not him. It's Lautaro Martinez, 22 years old from Argentina, valued at 80 million euros. A guy I never heard of before. Freaky. Right now we're talking soccer, Lotto Chess. Chris Smalling is in Rome. Yeah, okay, but still, it's weird. And we have successfully gotten a new challenge while discussing the soccer transfers. And it's a Norwegian kid, Sidali, trying his luck. And by which I mean getting absolutely clobbered. Hammer valued at 45 million, so I don't know how much this is true. Ah, fair enough. We shouldn't be trusting these valuations based on our experience with the hammer. Ooh, if he had gone king e2, I would have been in some trouble. But now I think I'm getting this queen. Ooh, maybe I can take the rook as well. I regret doing that. I regret doing that. I should not have let him. Oh my gosh, this attack on my king is so scary. I should not have taken that rook. I have massive regrets. That was a horrible decision. Look at those bishops pointed towards my king. I am so scared right now. Oh, and he just... Oh, that was very generous of him. He just let me give away my queen. He shouldn't have done that. It made it much easier for me to defend. Why go to United? United players end up at Inter anyway. I guess that was the point. Perpetual. Who is the manager, by the way? I think it's one of the old coaches in the Premier League. Manager. This is a strong 50. Conte. Okay. Well, he was revolutionary in England. He basically, this is very interesting. He changed the entire soccer strategy of the UK when Conte went to Chelsea and adopted a five at the back strategy. And now everyone is doing that. And he's the one who made it big. And actually, if you guys have a Norwegian memory, you will recall that even before Conte, there was another manager who introduced five at the back. And that was, of course, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer at Cardiff. But Solskjaer was just trying to put everyone defending and then hoping for a draw. So, I mean, he didn't really seem to have any strategy with it. He was just putting everyone in defense and hoping for the best. But he was ahead of Conte as well. Hey, Alex. How are you today? Okay, I think we'll just take everything here. Really, Gondolius? That's well before my time. I remember when I was a kid, the only acceptable formation was 4-4-2. And now it's kind of unthinkable to have that poor of a coverage in central midfield. Wow, Slumka, I'm not as old as you guys, but Conte at the very least brought it back. I'm sure there's other, I mean, as far as I understand, playing five at the back was pretty normal in Italy. But what Conte did was bring it to England with huge success. My impression was also that he employed some kind of new strategy with it, but I'm not sure about that. Impossible on mobile. Yeah, it's mobile is tricky, Aquila. Oh, really, Aquila? Feels bad. Are there any good like chess software for mobile? I really like the Follow Chess app, but other than that, I don't really do chess stuff on my cell phone. Lord Everson, you're happy about signing Bruno Fernandes? I don't know. I feel like every signing United has done lately has been horrible. The price they paid for the British guys, Maguire and Van Bissaka, was so insane. You would never see Levy do that kind of business. I kind of like Levy. I like the fact that he just one transfer window just didn't buy any players. Why are you talking sports in my chess stream? I'm sorry. Would you rather we talk about chess, addict? How about you make a contribution? Say something chessic that I can respond to. Sidali playing twice? Yeah. I have so few challenges, Halvard, that everyone is having a second go. I think some people I played against 5 times so far. But some people, I mean, I want to call them chickens, but really they're just responsible people who knows what's good for them. They know that if they were to challenge me to a 1 minute game, they would get completely destroyed. So they're just staying away. Buddha, 18 kill duo win? Are you kidding me? How many of those did you get and how many of those did your duo get? I suspect that's going to tell a bit of a story. Do you mean Escape from Tarkov? Oh, Alex. That's what's up, huh? You had 8. Man, these matchmaking lobbies are really ruining the game, huh? 18 kill duo win? That's insane. Is E4 trending among super GMs? I don't know. That would be a bit of a sensation, Leon. Because D4 has been the number one choice for a very long time. I would say if people have started playing the King's Pawn more than the Queen's Pawn lately, that's a development that should be addressed. You got tired of D4? Well, the thing is, Addict, that for most people, changing their opening is a very difficult thing to do. But for these super grandmasters, it's they can play any opening, right? So they have the ability more than others to just say, "Nah, I'm not gonna do this anymore." Just switch. Oh my gosh, poor Ali. There's so many pieces hanging. Ooh, this didn't really help matters. I'm threatening that rook, and that bishop. I mean, this is a very difficult choice just because I can take everything if I so please. You change from e4 to d4 and gain 400 points? Wow, Halvard. But it's individual, right? So some people will benefit from such a change way more than others. It's all about your playing style and what suits you. I think you mean I'm just the number one pro Fortnite chess streamer. But I realized that I have not been practicing enough Fortnite lately for when that competition is going to be, when we're going to decide who the top chess streamer Fortnite player is. We really should get Epic Games involved in deciding such a prestigious title. Um, but until the championship has been scheduled, I have been slacking in my practice. But it's okay because right after I shut down this stream, I'm gonna be I'm gonna be working on my Fortnite. Epic Games needs to be involved in an epic match. But I hear rumors that Ali Reza is becoming the next big Fortnite chess person. Do you think we can take him down? I fear that Ali Reza is hugely talented at anything he puts his mind to. I fear that he's going to lose out on becoming a potential world chess champion because he's going to spend all his time trying to become better than us at Fortnite. But in that comment, I'm also kind of presuming that we're still better than him, which is not really. It's not clear that necessarily is the case because he lost like 3 games in a row in Tata Steel. And what are the odds of someone losing 3 games in a row in a chess tournament and not spending every single second of spare time between the games playing Fortnite? I mean, he was so tilted losing those games. Do you think there's even a remote chance he didn't spend every single second instead of tormenting himself thinking about chess? He was probably working on his Fortnite skills. Hey Nicola, how are you doing? Okay, we're checkmating this man on the G file. Also knight d6, tempting. He was lurking 2 minutes ago? Oh, really? I think that's a safe bet, Buddha. I think that's a safe bet. Checkmate. Didn't see that one, did you? Is that what happened to you? Pretty much, addict. Pretty much. Unhappy with chess results and then pouring your energy into a different game? That resonates a little bit, yeah. Hey, Joe. Epic Games sponsoring the World Championship match? Yes, but not the one you're thinking of, Evershin. I bet he's one of those guys who edits through builds faster than you can follow on screen. I hate those guys. It's impossible to learn anything from them. Okay, we have a new victim. Paula has volunteered to get crushed. Oof, and giving away bishops. That's not the way. These are not the strategies you're looking for. Oof. One bishop pointing down against white's king. One bishop pointing down against white's rook. This is going to hurt. Real bad. Sala with an assist. Yes, Gondolius. That's what we like to hear. Honestly, the team has been going so poorly, I haven't looked at it in forever. I think I lost quite a bit of value on Salah and on Mane already. But I'll have to check it out tonight if we have something to celebrate. Our triple captain getting some points. I feel like there's a checkmate here somewhere, but I don't see it. I don't see it. Is white really safe just with a knight down here? It's weird. Okay, we got the time win. Do you have any inside intel on when Tactics Frenzy will become available for Android? Yes, I do, Norwegian Chess Giant. It's going to be in February, but whether or not it's late or early, my impression is it's going to be like mid. So it's what they're prioritizing right now, getting it out on Android. And I think it's going to be like 2 to 3 weeks. Are you a coder too? No, Leon. I just say it would be nice if we could do that. And then other people say, no, we cannot do that. Or yes, we will try to do that. I have no idea how computers work. I'm sitting here for almost 3 hours seeing Hammer winning all the games, starting to think this guy could become pretty good if he stops streaming. We'll never know. We'll never know, Erickson. If development team says 2 to 3 weeks, 99% of the time it's like 6 weeks. We'll see, Salomka. We'll see. We'll reconvene in 2.5 weeks, and then we'll see. Telling people what to do is my dream job. Yeah. I am blessed, John. I am very blessed. Remind me, what are you studying in school? On that note, any update on the Android version of Chessable? Actually, the Chessable team is in Barcelona, so I don't have any inside info, unfortunately. So that's my way of saying I have no idea. Math. Yeah, that's not really the right call, is it then? No one has ever said, let's get someone in here to make the decisions. Oh yeah, let's have a mathematician. Let's spend a couple of weeks trying to get the proof that our decision is the right one. Yeah. Sorry, dude. I don't think that's gonna work out. Everyone will tell you what to do. Yes. That's pretty the summation of what I was getting to. A lot of people are hiring mathematicians for consulting. Oh, and Flitzy, consulting. Would you say consulting is more like people telling you what to do? Or would you say it's like people asking you to suggest what they should do? Because I basically, my role at Play Magnus, I consider myself basically a consultant in terms of I they consult me on things. Maybe that's too literal for the correct meaning, but it sounds linguistically correct. Um, but essentially, a consultant would be someone who tells other people what to do. Is that what we're hoping for? And we're trying to tell Mr. Buddha that he may be able to boss around people after all. That's a pretty good summation, Chess Giant. Smile even when you don't want to smile. Do you guys think I smile, fake smile a lot? Because personally, I feel like something where I could improve is being fake in terms of like pretending that I'm happy when I'm not. Because I feel like I'm pretty honest about my emotions. I'm not really hiding anything, which can be a bad thing at times. Sometimes you don't want everyone to know what you're thinking or feeling. Are we going to do this just for fun? I think we are. Just for fun. What do you use to play chess? My brain. It's very good. I don't know what I'm doing. We're just pushing stuff up the board. We'll see what happens soon enough. I think that just happened. Not even concerned about the time because I had the bishop pair. And the bishop pair trumps all. Okay, let's I'm gonna be streaming a lot this week. I'm gonna be streaming tomorrow at the same time. No, actually, not at the same time. Tomorrow we're having a late stream. Big info for all our American viewers. Tomorrow we're starting the stream at 9 p.m. Oslo, which is 3 p.m. Eastern. So that's going to be much later than normal on account of the Pro Chess League. So I'm just gonna try to make a draw in all my games so that I'm not in a terrible mood after. We'll see. And then we're doing a stream on Friday as well. We're doing 7 p.m. The same time as I think that's basically gonna be my standard. 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. I think that's nice. It's not too late. It's not too early. It's a good solid prime European prime time scheduling right there. Late stream, yeah, late stream, Buddha. I don't really have a schedule, Buddha. Twitch took away the thingy I was using to create a schedule. It's a bit of a disaster. I don't really know how to convey my planned streams anymore. 7 p.m. also is 1 p.m. Eastern. It's basically when you're getting out of bed, Buddha. We don't really need to use times. We can kind of just use getting out of bed, breakfast, lunch, gym, if we want to be more kind of helpful to make you understand what part of the day we're streaming. But tomorrow we're going to do 9 p.m. Eastern. 9 p.m. Eastern tomorrow. That's, no, 9 p.m. Oh, sorry. 9 p.m. Oslo, which is, which is 3 p.m. Eastern. And we're going to be rating a Swede. Speaking of Mr. Carlson and his Stockholm press conference tomorrow, I hope you haven't forgotten. Magnus is doing a press conference tomorrow. I have now hyped it without having any idea what it's about. So I hope it's something good. If it's something ridiculously boring now, I'm gonna be disappointed. But we have created some hype for Magnus's press conference tomorrow. It's in Stockholm. We have no idea why. And we haven't been able to figure out any logical explanation for it. But there you go. We'll find out soon enough. We'll find out tomorrow. And yeah, well, Halvard announcing his retirement has been suggested already. It's just that we couldn't figure out any idea, any sort of topic in which he would actually do it in Sweden. So I think our best guess
and hope for the best
is that he's announcing a sponsorship with a big Swedish company. Because otherwise, there's for the life of us, and we've been trying in chat. I want to commend chat for a good effort. But we cannot figure out why he's having this press conference in Stockholm.
Very interesting.
But with Stockholm in mind, we are rating someone I think might actually be living in Stockholm, which is Miss Anna Kramling. She is a member of the Swedish national team, and she has been this last month. She's been doing commentary on the Women's World Championship. And she, I guess, enjoyed it so much, she even started streaming herself. She is the daughter of Pia Kramling, who is the big Nordic women's chess icon. She's the only Nordic female player, to get the GM title. And I think she was also one of the first ever female players to get the title. Pia has been like world elite for more than 20 years. So thank you everyone for hanging around, and I hope to see you back tomorrow at 9 p.m., 3 p.m. Eastern. You're so impatient.
I do not understand anything.
Bye.